We are here with Micah Zandee-Hart, defender for Team Canada in beautiful Herning, which a little clouded over, which is why we're sitting here today. It would be a perfect moment for a pound or pint. However, we're unable to have them right now. We'll have them maybe post-tournament. But Micah, great to have you here. Thanks for sitting down with us. I know it's your off day, so really enjoy having you here. But let's cut right to it. You're the youngest of four. From Sanishton, BC.
Got it.
Correct? I got it? Okay, I got it right. And I've heard that your siblings call you Granny. Can you explain that, please?
Yeah.
Because you're pretty young.
Yes, I am. I'm the youngest of four. My oldest siblings are 12 years older, and my closest sibling's 7 years older. But I was always the kid that was kind of keeping tabs on everyone, though I was younger. I liked to be on time. I was the one telling people, we need to be in the car at this time, and Grandma's going to be mad if we're late for dinner, all these things. So my siblings just started to call me Granny because I was always kind of on them and always keeping everybody in line, even though I was the youngest. I kind of took that as my job, my way of helping my mom. So
you toe the line?
Yes, yes.
That was not my name. That was not my name growing up. You speak about your mom, Patricia, and I know she's meant so much to you and the impact she's had in your life. Can you just share what an inspiration she's been for you, in particular your youth and through your journey in hockey?
Yeah, for sure. My mom kind of raised the four of us mostly by herself, obviously with help from my grandparents and stuff, but my dad lived in Saskatchewan, so on the island she was kind of our rock, and she basically worked whatever job would, pay for all of our fees and different sports and school and everything, and she put kind of the things that were her dreams aside for me and my siblings, and she's also been through a lot in her life to get to where she is today. So I think for all of me and my siblings, we just look up to her so much with her resiliency and the way she led our family and the love and kindness that she has for everybody. So she kind of led us into who we are, and I always carry that with me and carry her with me wherever I am.
Do you remember talking to her after you made your first World Championship team?
Yeah, for sure. I think it was just like a silent phone call. Like when I said that I made the team, it was just like silent. She was crying, I was crying. Obviously, that had been my dream since I was little, but she took that dream within herself as well. So for us to have that moment, and obviously telling her last year, going to the Olympics, that was also a big one.
And living in a smaller community, I know that you had to leave home at the age of 15 and go to the Okanagan Hockey Academy, and obviously she supported that dream. And how difficult was it to leave home to do that?
Yeah, it was hard. I think, if it was up to my mom, she would have been coming with me. And maybe I'd
be going with my kids too, for sure,
yeah.
For sure.
Especially being the youngest, I was the last one at home. But I was going and living with a family there that I'd known, and they had a daughter on the team as well. So I think that helped my mom with the transition a little, knowing that I was in a good home and I was going to be taken care of. But I definitely missed home. Luckily, I wasn't too far, but I always knew in my life, coming from a small community, that if I wanted to make it to the top in my sport, I'd have to move away. So I think even as like a 7 or 8 year old, I knew I got to move away at some point. So I always had that in the back of my mind, and she obviously supported me in that.
So when was it that you knew that you wanted to play for Team Canada then? You mentioned when you were 7 or 8. Did you know back then that that's exactly what I want to do?
Yeah, I think it was watching 2002 Olympics. I was 5. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And just, seeing them win gold and standing on the line. I had this Olympic dream. I loved sports. So seeing people compete for their country and athletes from all over the world was obviously the main kind of thing that drew me in. But then seeing these women, sweaty, crying, like
that was me
playing so tough and feeling all these emotions after, like arm in arm with the anthem. That was kind of the moment where I was like, I want to be a part of that because that looks special.
Yeah.
And then obviously getting to be a part of it now, I realized that, it is really special.
Yeah, you can see you're just glowing when you're talking about it.
Definitely.
And there's been so much talk about you as a leader on this team, and from a young age, obviously leaving home with the guidance of your mom, your family, but you were the captain as a sophomore at Cornell, the captain of Canada's U18 team, and then you reached some adversity. In 2018, you were one of the last cuts for the Pyeongchang Olympic team, and how difficult that must have been. And I know firsthand, because in 1998, I was cut from the team, having had been on it, and I remember the feeling, and I questioned whether I wanted to play, to be truthful. And I didn't know how to get back up, and it was so very, very difficult. So when I was reading some of the stuff on you and the adversity, I just really wanted to ask you, from that raw perspective and that authentic perspective, how did you do it? Because we can talk about it, and we can talk about getting back up, and we can say all the right things, but you have that feeling. So the question for you is, how did you find a way to get back up and push towards your dream?
Yeah, it was like you said, like you start to question things. You've been so like this your whole life, and something means so much to you, and then all of a sudden it's gone. And then you kind of question, okay, wait, why am I doing this? Or for me, I was so sure of myself as a kid. I think that's what got me where I was, is I was so sure that this is what I wanted to do, and I was so sure of what I brought. And then all of a sudden I wasn't good enough, and I was like, well, what do I bring? Now what do I bring? Because I obviously wasn't good enough. But I think moving forward for me, I just leaned on people around me. I went back to Cornell, I leaned on my teammates. I maybe spent more time guiding towards my classes than I did hockey, because that kind of took my mind off all the hockey stuff, and really just leaned into my family, my close friends, and just kind of fell in love with being around people and being around the rink and competing again before I kind of finally got back into that feeling of, okay, I want to make Team Canada. I want to try again. I'm still surviving, I'm still doing this, and kind of finding the joy in coming to the rink every day just to play hockey and not thinking so much about making the team, because as you know, that's so much of what we do in this environment is making the team, making the tournament. But hey, we're actually doing this because we actually just love hockey and we love competing. We love being with our teammates.
Yeah, and I love that you said that, because a lot comes back to perspective, right? And the day-to-day, and having perspective on that journey to trying to achieve it. But then you make the team, you come back, and then you have a shoulder injury heading into the 2021 World Championship, coming out of, the cancellation in 2020. So you're unable to attend the Calgary bubble last year when Canada wins gold. And here you are, you're back. You go to the Olympic Winter Games. So again, speaking to that resiliency, was there anyone else that you leaned on this particular group within this environment that certainly helped you get through that experience as well?
Yeah, I think for me, obviously through COVID, we were in these small training groups, and for me, that was kind of the Calgary group. So, if you look at Blair, Rebecca Johnson, Megan Mickelson, Kristen Campbell, who's my roommate, those are the kind of people I was spending every day with, and they saw me go through all that. So just seeing them every day, and they brought great energy and, told me just keep going, and they inspired me. Watching them go to Worlds and how they competed and how well we played at that tournament just inspired me to keep going. And again, like I said earlier, reminded me, hey, I want to do this for the people. I want to be on this team. I want to be a part of this team. I know I can help them, so I want to get back for that reason. Well,
I've certainly heard that you've helped them so much from a leadership perspective. I've heard about your speeches pre-game at the Olympics, girl, and I heard you had people in tears. I know if I was in that room, I would have been bawling. But question not surrounding hockey, just to end this, your bucket list, 2 things that don't revolve around hockey. What are they?
Yeah, one for me is to hit all 4 tennis majors, all 4 Grand Slams.
Oh, you have a favorite?
I've been to the French Open, which was pretty cool. I'd love to go to the Australian Open, and obviously Wimbledon's the big one, but I love tennis. I love the mental aspect of the sport, so I'd love to go to those tournaments. And then the other one, being from the West Coast, is take a Volkswagen van and go down the Pacific Coast Highway down the coast.
I might join you for that one if you'll have me.
Good.
Okay, well, good luck. Micah, I think you've been a tremendous leader for this team. You're doing great things on the back end. Love your game. Keep at it, and good luck for the rest of the way.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.